I'm going to show you the mindset shifts that broke my toxic attachment fast and how you can do it too. First, that means recognizing that something inside you still believes that there's something to gain from reigniting a relationship, even though you know it's toxic. As a physicist, I used to thrive on logic and braininess, but that means I learned the hard way. But I don't want that for you. One of the biggest reasons people don't detach is this quiet belief that if they just do a little more, show up a little bit better, explain themselves a little clearer, eventually the other person will see their value. But if someone needs repeated convincing, they're showing you exactly what they're available for. And instead of accepting that, we build a version of them in our head and we attach to the potential. We attach to what it could be, and we start working towards that instead of what's actually happening. But at some point, the focus has to shift from why do they keep doing this to me to why am I still holding on to this? Because the real turning point is when you stop trying to figure them out and you start looking at what part of you is still attached to the version of your relationship that you created in your head. Since we can't always see our own stuff when we're smack in the center of it, this is one of the things that makes dreams so valuable. This whole dynamic shows up in your dreams long before the heartache and defeat that you feel after your greatest efforts don't work. If you're walking behind someone or trying to get to them, but they keep going somewhere else, this is a good sign in your dreams that you are in a fruitless pursuit. Another way this shows up in dreams is you're calling them and they don't answer. Or you're in some massive building, hallways, doors, staircases, and no matter what you do, you can't find the way out. That's your dream self showing you that you're still trying to move something forward that isn't actually going to move. But also, there's the other side of it, pride. In a quiet way, you're telling yourself you're already so invested that walking away feels like losing. So now it's about proving that you were right to believe in it, that it could work, that it should work, and that will keep you in something long after its expiration date. You may not have connected the dots yet to why you're doing this, despite everything within you screaming not to. That's because it's emotional and neurological. Your system adapts to what you've experienced in your formative years. If you're used to inconsistency or not being fully chosen or having to work for attention, it feels normal to you. That means when someone else actually shows up in your life who is calm and stable, someone who actually meets you emotionally, you don't trust it. You pull away and you go back to what feels familiar, even if it hurts. That's a mismatch between what you consciously want and what you're actually available for. This is why the pattern of staying connected to a toxic person you're trying to heal from is so insidious. If you're still around them, you haven't closed that loop. The door is still open for the same dynamic to creep in. You cannot stay in the energy of someone and expect to detach from them, even if you call it friendship, even if you say you're over it. And that's why people keep dreaming about the same person over and over again. They think, why am I still dreaming about this person? I'm done. But you're not fully done if your system still feels connected. Dreams don't follow your words, they follow your attachments. Personally, I had a heck of a time totally moving on from a toxic ex. I still thought that we could be friends or still together somehow. I remember dreams that I had at that transition. There was one where I saw him and I in space, and we had large rings around us as if we were planets orbiting. And I said something like, as long as our rings don't touch, then we'll be fine. And maybe that would be true later, but at the time I was still holding on to hope, and that kept me in emotional handcuffs. Underneath all of this, there's usually a belief that hasn't been addressed yet. Something like, I'm not enough, or I have to earn love, or if I just try harder, I'll be chosen. And until that gets looked at, you'll be recreating that same experience with different people. So different face, same dynamic. So you get to a decision point. Do I stay attached to something that's toxic, hoping it changes? Or do I step out of it and create space for something that actually feels aligned with me, even if it's unfamiliar? Your brain tells you to detach, but you translate that in your emotional body as being cold-hearted. But let's disambiguate that. Detachment is not shutting down or pretending that you don't care. It's no longer needing something from someone who isn't giving equally. It's about moving on without needing validation or closure or any explanation. Stay happy, my friends.